Hello, and welcome to our words of encouragement today. As you can tell, I'm celebrating our Atlanta Braves as we get closer and closer to making the playoffs again. But I wanted to talk to us today about a character trait of integrity. There was a survey done by Barry Ponzer and James Kaus about what people looked for in the leadership, people that they wanted to follow. The one thing that came up over and over in most of that was that they wanted integrity in them. What somebody said, they did, how they lived. If there's anybody that we can trust, it ought to be Jesus. But we know over and over people tell us one thing and they do something different. It's because what they have inside of them isn't quite what it should be. So I want us to look at 1 Samuel chapter 12, verses 1 through 4, just as a reference piece. Samuel's about to retire. And as he says, he goes, I want you to look at me. He says, I am old and gray. I have led you since I was a young man. He said, and my sons are still here, and they're going to help lead. And he says, and so it's time for me to retire. It's time for me to step down. He says, I want anybody if I've wronged you, if I've taken from you when I shouldn't have, how to make a claim against me, and I will pay it back. Verse 4 of 1 Samuel chapter 12, the people stand up and they say, no, you're good. What you have done rightly. We have no claim against you. His integrity stood out in his life, and therefore it was a part of who he was. When he said he was going to do something, you knew it. And so we hear these words about Jesus in chapter 13 of Hebrews, verse 8. It says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. It's not just talking about who God is as Jesus, as who he is as God's son, that piece of it, but he's unchanging. His love endures. His grace is there. He is a holy God, sinless. And so that piece about who he is, and we ought to be, is his integrity. We know what we're going to get. Every now and then when we get in these moods or we struggle, people might not know exactly what they're going to get. And sometimes people just don't have integrity. They'll tell you one thing and they know full and well they're going to go do something else. Just as Christ and Samuel had integrity in their lives. And they were unchallenged in that integrity. So should we as Christians be willing to reflect that image of Christ, of integrity. Next time you find that moment where it's a challenge, you're wondering, can I really do this? If I promise it, if I say it. If you can't, don't. Live a life of integrity. People will respect you much more. And you will reflect the image of God. You say, I can't. I can't support that. I can't do that. Or yes, I can. And they know that you will come and deliver because you're a faithful follower of Christ who lives with integrity that everyone can see. Those are my words for you today. I hope you have a great day. God bless.